Alright, so this Knife Thoughts video is going to be an unboxing, but as you can tell, it's a little different than normal. I'm in front of the camera rather than behind, and I decided to do that for a few reasons. First of all, I haven't done one where I'm in front of the camera in a while, and people do tend to like them, I think, so wanted to do one. It's also always kind of a challenge for me. I am always very nervous to be in front of the camera, so it's always good to challenge yourself. And finally, I wanted to wear my Knives Ship Free shirt for this video because this is going to be an unboxing of a couple Great Eastern cutlery knives from Knives Ship Free that I didn't really think I was going to get. These are the number 49 and 94 knives in the flag acrylic, and I haven't been paying attention to the drops quite as much as normal. I didn't get any of the 68s, but I will be doing a video thanks to my friend Dan on some of those. So I wasn't, kind of in tune with the drops as much as you usually have to be to get the knives, but I was able to get them from Knives Ship Free for a really great price, which I always appreciate, and also great service. So I wanted to wear the shirt that Knives Ship Free gave me at the GEC Rendezvous this past year to open these knives up. So don't mind the cow and rooster noises in the background, possibly some gunshots going on, but let's get these open here. So I actually got this yesterday and was at work, didn't get a chance to open it, and wanted to make a video to see these because I haven't, bought a GEC. Oh, there's a gunshot. Haven't bought a GEC super, recently. So wanted to open them because I'm excited to see them. I think that these flag acrylic knives are really cool. There's a lot of precedent in traditional knives for these flag acrylic type knives and patriotic acrylic. A lot of companies have done them in the past, so here they are, and I will walk a little closer here. There's also a lot of mud where I'm standing. You might hear some dog barking in the background too, but here there are the tubes, and we have the number 94 Liberty in flag acrylic and the number 49 Liberty. So I guess they're both the Liberty. I thought that they had different names, but they must not. It looks like the difference on the tubes is the color of the writing for the two different patterns there. Now, they actually had a lot of these that had some minor and then moderate issues in the acrylic of like delamination and stuff. I was able to get the non-flawed ones, so I was happy with that. And let's go with the 94 first. So the 94, and to be honest with you, like I said, I haven't been paying attention as much as normal. I don't know which of the two patterns this is. One of them is like a swayback, one of them is more like a normal jack. The swayback has a sheet foot blade, and the that's my doggo so in the background barking, so hopefully he doesn't bark the whole time. But one of them has a clip point blade with the kind of normal jack. But here is the pin, and you'll notice that the pin says the PPP etch, or well, I guess it's not an etch, but has the PPP on it for this. And it's kind of interesting because it should be on the blade, etched on the blade. Randy from GEC said that they couldn't fit it, and this is the clip point version. So here it is, and they said that they couldn't fit it on the back of the blade where it normally is, and I don't really get that. This is definitely not the smallest knife, but because they didn't have that etch, they kind of put a surprise etch, the Gadsden Don't Tread on Me. So my first impression of this is I do like the size of this knife. It is a little smaller than a 15. I'll show you it next to a 71 here. So the knife I'm carrying, I opened these with a Spyderco Native Chief, but I'm also carrying a 71. So if I can show you this in the right place, you can see that the 94 is smaller than the 71. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised that this is the 94 because the 93 is a swayback, so I would have thought that the 94 would have been the swayback of the two. But anyway, first of all, I want to look for any flaws just to see if they missed them. And I don't really see any major flaws here. None are jumping out to me. So here's the front I really do like that flag acrylic. It's pretty cool. And how it works is, if you look here, you can kind of tell that there's actually just a flat piece of whatever it is, paper or vinyl. Hopefully it's not just plain paper, and then just clear acrylic on top of it. And then on the other side, it says, "We the people." Now, one thing I noticed looking at Dan, my friend's versions or examples of the 94 and the 49, is that the printing on the, you know, the paper or vinyl or whatever it is here is not that clear. And I don't know how well this will focus super close up, but hopefully you can tell or see a little bit that it's not the clearest, like on those stars, and then particularly on the "We the People." Now, it's not something that's a huge deal to me. I mean, I think that these are really cool, and I'm planning on displaying these on a little stand that my wife gave me a while back. So it won't matter, but just something that I noticed. No, maybe a very slight, yeah, there's a slight gap on the pile side between the spring and the liners on this one, but not big. Not perfectly centered either. No blade play that I can feel, and the snap is nice. I'll show you that here. Not clearly not very good at the in front of the camera, but I think it needs washed out just a little bit. You can see it does snap, but it feels like it'll be even smoother than this here. So you can see the "We the People" or "Don't Tread on Me," and then on the other side we have "Liberty." And I do like that font. It's a nice cursive font there. You can see that hopefully. And the spring is pretty flush at full open, a little high at half stop. See if it'll focus, and then pretty much flush at closed. So the tip here, my friend Dan had a very proud tip on the 49. This one is close to proud, but not fully proud, but let me see if I can get that to focus a little better, but pretty darn close to proud there. So no real issues on it. Not 100% perfectly centered, maybe a very, very small gap, but a really cool knife. And like I say, I do plan to display these, and I think that it will work great for that. So let's get to the number 49 Liberty flag acrylic. It's kind of chilly out here, so fingers are kind of cold to open these. I've had trouble opening them recently anyway, but oh, so interestingly, I think that Knife Ship Free just kind of didn't put it so that Knife Ship Free, let me see if that'll focus. Yeah, there we go. So they have Liberty on this one also, but in the tube here, and I accidentally clicked on my watch to show you, to try to focus it, and now my camera will not focus for the rest of the thing. But here on the pin, it actually says Freedom. So I think that the number 49 is the Freedom model, and the number 94 is the Liberty. So it's Freedom and Liberty. So yeah, the pin here says Freedom for the 49. But let's look at the knife itself here. Very proud tip, and it's just silly because it's a sheep foot. There's no need for this to have a proud tip. So yeah, definitely that's the first thing I noticed, is that it has an obviously proud tip. Another thing here that I'm noticing right away, and let me see if I can focus it on, oh, there we go. Now, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but right here, there's an area on this acrylic that is unpolished, just like I had if you watched my unboxing video on the lookout jack, which I will link here in the video. If you look at my video on the lookout jack, the Northwoods, the most recent Northwoods, I had the same thing where there were areas on the scales, on the handles, the covers that were unpolished, and it's not a huge deal. It's, you know, certainly not a practical issue. I don't know if you saw in the background there, Max just walked by, the neighbor's dog. He likes to come hang out with all the dogs at our house here. But there's an area right here that's not polished, and you know, being that this is a kind of like a display knife in the sense that you know, it's displaying that we the people, not in the sense that everyone who buys this is going to have it as a display knife to display the knife, but the handles themselves are kind of a display here, displaying the we the people. It you know, isn't great for it to be not polished here enough that it is somewhat obscuring that. It makes it so that that acrylic is not clear because it's not polished well enough there. So I don't know why that's happening. It's honestly something that, again, not a huge deal, not a practical issue, but it's not something that I saw on GEC knives until recently. Maybe once before the last year, you know, maybe one knife that I had, one or two, but I've had a lot of GEC knives go through my hands and haven't seen that happening. So I don't know why that's happening. I know everyone has, you know, challenges because of COVID and supply chain issues and everything like that. But I don't know, I wish that was polished better, and my lookout jack is at GEC right now for, you know, fixing some of those slight issues, but you know, hopefully it gets fixed. I guess the person who does that type of thing is out on you know, sick leave or something right now, so they're not sure how long those types of things are going to take, maybe a month or so. But so the reason I say that is because, you know, maybe if I'm able to go to the factory, which I'm lucky enough to be more able to do than most people because I live an hour away from the factory, maybe I could get this polished off real quick. But if you didn't live close to the factory, it would probably take a while to get that fixed if it was something that you were interested in getting fixed. But the thing that I actually noticed as soon as I opened this knife is that I have definitely a proud tip. So I'm going to do my best to show this. There we go. Now, I don't know how well you can see it there, but it is clearly proud. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it back here. There's my dog barking at Max. And I can catch and my thumbnails are short right now. I actually just trimmed them because I teach a martial art, jiu-jitsu, where you don't want to be scratching your training partners. But I'll show you that again here. This is my thumbnail. I'm not using, you know, I'm not pinching the blade or anything like that, but I can get my thumbnail in there and open it up with the proud tip. So that is a practical issue, in my opinion. I don't think that you're gonna like injure yourself, you know, cut yourself really badly on this knife, on this proud tip, certainly not. But if you sharpen it a few times, if you are someone who's really using this knife and sharpening it, you know, once a week or more, depending on, you know, what you're using it for. If you're cutting cardboard with this frequently for your job, you know, breaking down boxes, you'll have to sharpen it pretty frequently. It's 1095, it's good steel, it's well heat treated, but it's not gonna hold its edge super long. So when you sharpen it, the tip will get more and more proud. Now you can definitely, you know, drop that kick, which I have a video on and will link in the video here. You can drop the kick to bring that tip down. Will I do that on this knife? Probably not. I'll probably try to take it to the factory and ask them to do it. But it's something you could do. It's just something that I don't think you should need to do, particularly because this is a sheep foot. A sheep foot can generally sit a little lower in the frame because it doesn't have that belly. So that edge, I mean, that is way at the top of this blade well as this blade sits. So I got these for a really good price. I think that the price that Knife Ship Free sells GEC knives for, honestly, is below the value that you're getting. I mean, well below. These are USA made knives in small numbers. Actually, I heard that at least, you know, the dealers got more of these than of a lot of other runs of GEC knives. But still made in small batches, and you know, really high quality generally. Sometimes you get issues like this, but I think $73 for these is still a pretty good deal. Still a really good deal, honestly. And I'm interested to hear what GEC has to say about this, you know, a polishing thing. I kind of I'm interested to hear what they have to say about it, but it's something that does, to me, as someone who both uses and collects GECs. I use some GECs pretty heavily, and I definitely get some not to use and to display or just to have because I like them. As someone who does both of those things, I don't like to see those type things where it has a really proud tip or, you know, an unpolished area, because it just, I know that they can do it without that. Now, again, this run had some issues already with the delamination and other minor and moderate flaws in the acrylic, but I am happy to have gotten these knives, even though this one, well, neither is 100% perfect. This one's a little off center, has a gap. Oh, I forgot to mention too, this one also has a slight gap. If I can get it to focus, has a slight gap. This one is on the mark side between the spring and the liner, but I still am happy to have gotten these knives because, like I say, I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention to the drops and wasn't sure that I was going to get them, and I got them at the best price that you can get them. I mean, by far. A lot of dealers, the kind of suggested price for these was $104, and that is a big difference between $73 or really $74 with, you know, there's, you know, 73 and change. $74 versus $104 for me is like a big difference. That's at least a knife, you know. $60 is, I can get a pretty cool knife for $60, and, you know, a Civivi or something like that. Not an American made knife usually for $60, but a nice knife. So that $60 difference in buying these two knives, even $30 difference for each one, is significant. So I do appreciate that from Knife Ship Free. I appreciate their fast shipping. Everyone there that I've interacted with has always been really nice. So I'm glad to have gotten these thanks to Knife Ship Free again. And I will, I think, post a video on what GEC has to say on this knife, and also the lookout jack, being that it has at least one similar issue. So if you've enjoyed this video, as always, make sure you give it a thumbs up. You can subscribe to the channel and click the bell for notifications. I've been putting links to do that in the ends of my videos recently. I hope that's helpful. I appreciate it, and we're getting close to the 3,333 subscribers, which is when I will pick the winner of my giveaway that I posted a while back. So make sure, you know, you get in, you get subscribed before then, and comment on that video, which I will link here. And also check out my social media. I'm on Instagram and Facebook at Knife Thoughts, and my website, knifethoughts.com, where I post articles on knives like these and knife-related topics. And last but not least, as always, don't forget to go out and do good.